We're very honored to have President Kagame with us here today. I believe that he's one of the greatest leaders of our time. He's an honorary member of YPO, has been very generous with his time with YPO, and has been recognized also by YPO with a Lifetime Achievement Award. I welcome you, President Kagame, to our meeting today. Thank you for joining us, and would you be so kind as to share your journey and your story and your journey with us here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you really for very kind introduction. And I'm very happy to be with you this morning, and thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for finding the time for actually inviting me to be here with you. It's always an honor and pleasure for me. Whenever YPO calls, I answer the call. And I'm happy to be associated with you. We came here to Washington, D.C. We had successful meetings going on from the 4th of August up to the major event was yesterday. We had a meeting with the President of the United States, the heads of state of Africa, the whole day, and discussing the issues that matter to many people. I know men around the table are also interested in that. We are trying to see how United States and Africa can be stronger, more meaningful partners in every sense of that, and particularly in business, investments, trade, and other activities. In fact, many people had a sense that it should have happened long ago, because Africa and the United States have known each other for very long, and actually some things happen, but they just seem to happen not very well directed or managed to maximize the benefit of that partnership. So yesterday and the day before yesterday, we went through all that, and I should say productive meetings. Productive meetings also in a sense that as I'm here meeting you and the different backgrounds around the table that can make impactful contributions in the development of my country, Rwanda, or Africa in general, may also benefit from this. In a sense, there is increased awareness of what can be done in Rwanda, in Africa, and people who would invest their money or behind that, their passion they may have for one thing or another. What is clear is there are going to be good returns on the investments that we made, whether it is investment in your time or your money. The return is either good profit or satisfaction that you have done something that has impacted people's lives, and that is if that's what you wanted. So I think, if you will, these discussions really put some relevance to, more relevance to what has been happening already, and it's likely to increase. So even as from the introduction, my country, Rwanda, the history is I think has been very well summarized, where we have come from, where we are, and definitely where we want to be is where we see other countries today, prosperity is the aspiration of everyone, of any people. Rwanda can't be the exception. That's what we want to achieve. We want to see our people develop. We want to see the transformation of the entire country. And we really don't mean and would not like to have our country undergo transformation while the neighbors or other parts of the continent remain behind, because that has an effect of dragging us even where we want to leave behind us. So it's the well-being of Rwanda and the well-being of Africa generally that we are interested in. And we did speak about different areas of interest, whether it is energy. Everyone from any part of Africa was talking about electricity as a problem, but as a huge opportunity and as an area of investment for those who may. And there were companies that are involved in that, like General Electric and Symbion and others. They were there in the room. But also the fact that the United States, through these discussions, the government is looking at how they facilitate and partner with the private sector people to actually feel secure in the investments they intend to make in our continent, so which I think is a very good thing. So for Rwanda, it's electricity, it's mining, it's agribusiness and continuing to grow agriculture, it's tourism, it's there are many things, and we logistics, it's technology. We want people to bring their capacities to bear on these challenges we face and be able to address them together and in a win-win process. And we thought the best way to do it is not just, we have always, in the region, we have supported and encouraged the integration, so that when you're talking about Rwanda, you're just not looking at Rwanda. Through Rwanda, you're also looking at the rest of the region or the other way around. And we have come together as a region, 5 countries, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi, Rwanda, a population of 135 million people. And we have tried to create a common market as one region. We have customs union. We actually want to create, probably may in the future use one currency, and people are even talking about a political federation, so that this becomes more or less like one country. But in order to achieve this, each of us, the countries in the region, of course, need to be doing the right thing, so that when we come together, then it's a bigger geographical space, but doing the best we can for our own people. So Rwanda has been undergoing reforms for several years now, economic, political, and we have seen tremendous transformation in the whole country. Rwanda, we've been reforming, doing business in the country, so that those who invest with us in our country have that sense that things are going to work for them. It's the rule of law, it's security, it's education for our people, it's health, it's So we have in the recent years made decent progress that we want to continue to make, but we would make more progress with our friends, our partners' involvement. We have learned over time no single country is going to develop and reach far on its own. You have to seek partners and work with the people to be able to move forward. So here I wanted to thank you, I wanted to appreciate you and invite those who have not been to Rwanda to come and visit with us and invest in us, and we are prepared for you to work together and so that everybody feels satisfied. So thank you very much for your time.
I don't know if that is on. Could you comment for us on the leadership and the approach that you've taken to heal the psychological aspects of the country and come back to some of the business stuff, but it seems to be such an amazing thing that's happened, and it's a wonder. Could you share with us the approach towards moving people forward?
Thank you. The situation of our country has really been very complicated and a complex situation to deal with, because here we have a small country, landlocked, devastated by genocide, meaning, people turning on one another and the kind of situation we had. And then we inherit this, and we have to try and create value out of this hopeless situation, almost with nothing again. I'm putting it that way so that people may understand how complex it was. But we thought, now, it's like you are put in a very difficult situation, and it's like, what is the alternative? So you work towards the alternative. The alternative was really to leave that history behind us. But we also identified that the best way out of that situation is to first bring confidence to the Rwandans, our people, major resource we have, the people in the problem. So it's like we looked each other in the eye and said, how do we get out of here? How do we work together, and with what? And so that's the most important thing is to create that sense in the people that they can overcome any adversity. And we had the worst of that. So, but that was the only starting point for us. And then we worked gradually on creating semblance of life, and we stopped surviving and created life and got out of it based on human being determination. And we've learned lessons over time that while the tragedy was an example of the human capacity to be able to destroy things, I think our recovery has also been a good example of how human beings can do good things. And for us, our situation has had these two ends. The worst you would expect, and now the best you can expect, almost from nothing. So all that is around what human beings are capable of doing. And I think for Rwanda, for us Rwandans, we've been caught up, you know, between these two ends, and decided to move now towards the best that we can be. So, but it takes commitment, it takes hard work, it takes communicating with the people, and yeah, have a conversation and say, what else? What is the alternative? Can we be happy with this? Or instead of hating one another and killing the other you think is different from you, well, how about saying, well, we are different, but let's accept one another and live together happily, because in the end, the tragedy didn't benefit anyone. Even those who sponsored it, those who carried it out, did not benefit. So it was like, then why did we get involved in this kind of thing in the first place? Because nobody benefited. So why can't we do something together that will benefit all of us instead? That's what human beings, decent human beings, are supposed to do. So leadership plays an important role in this, and leadership, I mean, at different levels, because you may start from the top, but in the middle or the lower levels, leadership is also replicated. Each one is trying to do what they're expected to do, or what makes sense, not only to them, but to the others as well. So that's how the whole thing, like, it was really new life coming to Rwanda, and the Rwandans were caught up in the tragedy, being the ones playing this out and doing it. And that's why I said earlier on also that, but of course, good enough, there were people who wanted to be associated with the Rwandan story and contributed means or ideas or whatever, so to make things happen in a form of change. So, but it really takes energy, it takes time, it takes being involved, and allowing everybody to participate and contribute what they can, knowing that we are not doing any favor to one another. It's something we must do for us to survive and later on live a life that we deserve. So, and then you create a vision around that. It's like, okay, if we do this, this is where I want to go, this is where I want to be. And these are the alternatives of getting there, and you try and find out the best alternative among them that we can pursue. These are the kinds of struggles that still go on up to this day.
Thank you for sharing that with us. I have no doubt that it takes incredible leadership to be the leader of leaders and to achieve that success.